Uh, Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again. As always, tonight, my dear friends, we are going back to basics here at that Anglo-Saxon block because we have another story. Yes, another story about a migrant hotel here in the UK. And I personally think that's the only information you guys require with what I'm about to bring you. I'm sure you can all guess what's coming over the horizon yourselves, considering that a huge percentage of the content on my channel is in regards to these pissing hotels. But be rest assured, this future cardiologist seems a real charmer. So with that being said, guys, let's just jump straight in and see what's been going on this time, shall we? At our expense, as always. This is on GB News' website, my friends, and it reads: a migrant followed an asylum hotel worker to a train station before attacking her 23 times with a screwdriver. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this young gentleman isn't a future cardiologist. Maybe he's an aspiring engineer. And what actually happened here was he was coming home late one night from his university course studying engineering. He was carrying the screwdriver that he was currently using that day and innocently slipped on a banana skin and fell onto this poor woman 23 times. I mean, who knows what actually goes on in this batshit bonkers Britain we all currently find ourselves living in. Rhiannon Sky White bled to death after the horror alleged offence at Bescot Stadium train station in Walsall, West Midlands. The 27-year-old mum had finished a shift at Park Inn by Raisden Hotel, which is where the defendant, Deng Chol Magic. As always, guys, a good old English name, something along the lines of David Smith. Because let's face it, guys, according to Keir Starmer and a whole host of batshit bonkers leftists, this man is as English as you and me. Why? Because he's been in this country for 10 hours. where the defendant Deng Chong Magic had been staying. Magic is on trial for murder at Wolverhampton Crown Court, which heard the 19-year-old was seen on CCTV following Miss White. He has denied charges of murder and possessing a screwdriver as an offensive weapon. Of course he has, because his solicitor is probably called Mohammed Mushafa or something like that, provided for by the Home Office, and we all know what the Home Office is infested with: woke ideologies, DEI, box ticking and all that bullshit. And this guy is probably making multiple thousands of pounds for representing this murderous fucking invader. It's always the same tale of woe when these people go to court, my friends. I don't mean to keep using them as an example, but they are a prime example. The Muslim lads from Manchester Airport were on video actually hitting the old bill, and the jury found the case inconclusive. Need I say more? She was then heard screaming in a phone call to her friend. Prosecution Michelle Healy KC said he had followed her down onto the train platform at Bescot Stadium Station. She added, then he attacked her. Attacking her over and over again, falling on her over and over again. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, my friends. With a screwdriver, the prosecutor said he left her bleeding to death before he returned to the hotel casually. We say you can be sure he is guilty of murder, Miss Healy said. Racist. Jurors heard the Sudan national got a drink from a shop and allegedly threw Miss White's phone into a river. The man was later seen dancing and laughing, clearly excited about what he had done when he was back at the hotel. Yes, because a huge proportion of these people see us as slabs of meat with a lower life form of a fucking dog, particularly white English women. That's why there's so many R words. That's why there's so many attacks such as these going on up and down the country. You'll be amazed the amount of attacks that happen outside these hotels that don't even get reported on and don't get reported to the local police. It is sickening, my friends. The man was later seen dancing and laughing, clearly excited about what he had done when he came back at the hotel. Wolverhampton Crown Court heard the mother had worked at the hotel for about 3 months doing jobs like cleaning and serving food. One of her co-workers noticed Magic staring at Rhiannon and the woman she was working with on October 20th last year, according to the prosecutors. I've seen many a video across social media of this, guys, of young women getting onto buses and videoing certain individuals looking at them very, very lustfully with ill intentions in their eyes. There was one not so long back on one of Paul Joseph Watson's videos. There was this woman sat up, like woman, I say woman, probably a young girl, maybe 15, 14 years old, sat on a bus wearing a skirt, and there was this Muslim old gentleman sat on the opposite side, just blatantly staring at her legs. Like, not trying to hide it or anything, just staring. Heaven only knows what was going through that perverted old bastard's head. Miss Healy said no one could recall any particular issue that would have caused him to act in that way. I've just given you a fucking issue. They hate us. They are taking advantage of our good nature. So, excuse me, the government's good nature, not our good nature, the government's good nature, whilst taking with one hand and killing us with the other. That's why they do it. There had been an issue about some broken biscuits with some of the residents, but nothing serious, Miss Healy said. Oh, some broken biscuits. Fucking diddums, Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going to end it there, guys, because this is quite a lengthy article. I don't want to go on forever. What I've got to ask you guys is, why do women work in these hotels? These are undocumented young men. Heaven only knows what they are running from their countries for. It's not war, that's bollocks. What they are running from is probably past crimes. They could be murderers, they could be R-wordists, they could be PDF files, there could be a whole host. The list is bloody endless. And we have young women such as these working closely with potential sex offenders. I don't understand why they don't work for themselves, not doing piss all else in these hotels apart from R-wording, killing and God knows what else. So let them cook their own meals, let them serve their own dinners, or get some people of the same persuasion as them to dish out their fucking curry and rice. Because I know by looking at this woman, bright hair, looks a little bit leftist, she was probably working at that hotel because she thought she was doing something noble and something good. Oh, we should be helping these poor, destitute migrants. But nothing should be excused for what happened to this poor woman. She got kids, for Christ's sake. If there's one thing that the death of Charlie Kirk has taught me, is we shouldn't be celebrating death, even if it is of a bonkers leftist. We should not be dragging ourselves down to the level of a gutter dog, such as the Antifa and the batshit bonkers left do. Maybe this woman was a bit of a leftist. Did she deserve to be attacked 23 times, left bleeding in the street by some fucking psychopath just because she was a bit left-leaning? No, of course not. That's my video, my friends. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Carpe diem as always. Oh, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers, guys.